YouTube friends. How are ya? Come on in. I'm gonna get my comments pulled up and then we're gonna get making a corner arch swag. And tonight, we are here for how to be a BOHO BadA, but tonight's project is a little bit boho, but also sort of a little farmhousey, which, I've talked to you about how I like to combine the two style, or more than one style like that, and this is a great example. So I'm just gonna try to find myself. Let's try to bring this down. It's way too tall. All right, there we go. All right. It's not registered that I'm live yet, but that's all right. Let's get started and then I'll pull things up. All right, so we're gonna go in. We're gonna use this like a gingham plaid, and it's in like a navy and white, and then this navy blue salad here. Why are you shaking? My dog's underneath the table here. So let's see if we can see the live yet. Not so much. It takes a hot second for the lives and all that stuff to register. Huh. Well, if you're watching and you're watching in the app, then I can see your comments hopefully soon. And if you're watching through the web browser, then I won't be able, and I don't think you'll be able to comment anyway. All right, so this swag we're gonna beef up with some greenery. And I'm going to use a couple of different kinds of greenery. I have just this, like, it's more like an olive leaf. It looks almost like ficus, but it's more olive leaves. They're smaller. And we're going to use this to kind of give it some length and width. And then before we go in and add some of those extra, call them like the things that you'll see around the edging, the things that really kind of give it that boho look, we're going to go in and give it some of this thicker greenery here. So it'll trail down and it'll just add like a nice fullness and movement and things like that. So let's go ahead and do these two things. Now some of this I'll use zip ties and then some I'll just use hot glue. All right. Oh, sorry, I can't see the dang live. This is the weirdest thing. That's so funny. Why is it? Maybe I can see it on my phone. All the things, friends. You think that you can see all of it. You just can't. All right, let's see. Maybe I can see it on my phone. Yeah, now I can see it. How come it doesn't show on the iPad? It is the weirdest things. So then you get to hear it. All right, there we go. Hi, Claire. Hi, Gail. Hey, Misty. Hi, friends. Come on in. Hi, Mountain Mama Designs. You watch me all the time. Oh, and Candy's page. Oh, come on over. Hey, Judy. Well, thanks for being here. And it's Mitt Fan. This is going to be good. Oh, well, thanks. All right, so my first couple of things that I put in to make the shape, I usually use zip ties to secure. And you can use any color. I'm just going to use black. It doesn't matter because when I show you how we camouflage the back of it, it's not even going to matter. These corner swags, for the most part, are usually hung inside. They're meant for like mirrors or corners, arches, things like that. And so I cover the back of them with burlap to cover up all the stems and things like that. All right. I'm going to clip some of these off. They can go in the bow. If you know, you know. I can't make a bow without putting things in it. So, all right. So let's clip that up. And then let's clip this down just a little bit. And some of these pieces that are a little bit different. Okay, all right, so let's go in with this first set. And I would work these in just like I would with ficus. So I like these two pieces to go down. That's my cat, he can open up the door. So we'll go here, and all I do is find the spine. And I'm just going to lay it against the spine until I find the length that I'm happy with, right? So for me, I'm going to go there, and I'm just laying it. I'm not doing anything else. I'm going to put a couple of other pieces in before I go in and zip tie. So since I have that kind of making the bottom, I'm going to start to form this side a little bit. And so I'll just give these pieces a bend. So I'm just giving it a bend to make the shape of the side. So this piece I gave a bend to go this way. And so you can see here, with just those three pieces, how we thickened up the bottom, right? And shaped the bottom. So that's good enough for me. Let's go in with the zip tie. You're new. Oh, this tube watching is new to you? Don't know what you're doing. You know what, Judy? I'm figuring it out too. I am figuring it out too. I will tell you, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I kind of like the whole, like, get right into it. Just get right into the nitty gritty. I definitely love socializing and things like that. And so the Book of Faces is definitely more for, like, building community and things like that. But YouTube, like, just show me how to do something, okay? And I'm here for that, you know? Sometimes you just want to get right to it. All right, so all I'm going to do now is just pull up a couple of pine pieces between, and then they're wired. They're just like bread ties. So I'm just twisting them over top of some of the branches just to add another layer of security, but also to kind of meld these two pieces together and not necessarily have it be exactly like just a layered branch on top. So they kind of become one a little more. Okay, we're still going to have more shaping to do. So now let's do the same thing to this top piece. So now you can see this was just a swag base that I had. This was a 24, I think it was 24-inch swag base that I got from Craft Outlet. It's just an evergreen swag base. They have them in multiple different colors. And all I did was give the top of it a bend. So I just made it look like an upside, like an L, right? And then I turned it this way. So that's all I've done to make my base. All right, so let's take this piece here. We're going to do the same exact exercise. Lay it right down the spine of the swag. Kind of get your shape. My eyes itching. Oh, there we go. It's like, where are the comments? Ooh. Judy, what you working on? You still doing Christmas and fall? And I'm leaving that right there. I'm gonna zip tie right over top of that, just like that. Actually, no. Maybe I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go this way. So this is just a little bit like Tetris. You're just figuring out what looks good for the shape that you want. Misty, what you doing? What you working on, Miss? And I'm gonna go up with this one so that it's coming out this end here. And I'm just keeping in mind, again, where I can zip tie all of these three together, what point they're all intersecting. So I have them all right here. So let's go ahead and zip tie. And all I do is run this zip tie through the swag. So you can see here, it goes through the swag, like right here on this side. And then this is the spine of it. This is the metal spine. So I'm going around the spine, coming back through, and then that's how we're zip tying them in. And then we're keeping the button of it. Hey, hey, hey. Mister, those are my cords. Stop. Hey, Levi, stop it. My kitty's naughty. He's really naughty. Kate, you better stop. Oh, Lord, he's got his play mouse in here. He thinks he is something. He opens doors. And right now he's having a good old time with his mouse. Oh, goodness. All right, I came in here for peace and quiet, but he opened up the door on me, little turkey. Christmas, and you're done with fall. Craft show time, or craft show tomorrow. Ooh, you love fall design, so you can keep going. Hey, if it's selling, make it. Yeah, I've kind of left fall, and I'm gonna get into Christmas now. All right, so this right here, I'm gonna take these pines and wrap down here. How to secure that. Levi, this cat, he's gonna knock over my lights. All right. And if you see anything that sticks out too far, it's all wired so you can move it around or clip it off. Clip it off. I see you. You better not come over here and be getting naughty. He is. He's going to be naughty. I can tell. I can totally tell. Can't you tell, like, when your kids and stuff are just going to be rotten right to the core? He's just like that. It's just like rotten right to the core. All right, I'm good with this as far as zip tie, so I'm probably not going to need any more of these. We're going to go right into hot glue for the rest of them. So let's go in with this other greenery here. We're going to add this mostly just to the bottom and to this part here. Okay, because it's for that kind of fun look, right? Drapey. You haven't finished Halloween and you haven't decided if you're going to start Halloween fall April next year. I know, like last year I did really well with Halloween and this year I really didn't do as well, but I didn't make as much. And you know, it's like, this is a hard time of year for me professionally because I still have a corporate job, and this is the time of year that it's very, very busy for my corporate job, and I travel for work and stuff quite a bit, and so that it's hard to stay on top of all the things. So I'm probably like you, right, Mountain Mama? I need to start in like April to get Halloween done. Sorry, this is a Michael's bush, and if you know anything about Michael's, those tags can be like, I'm telling you, it's like they have some kind of a special glue, and they love to put it at just the right place. Hello, hey, Freckles Creations, hey girl, I saw you on TikTok. You were hanging out with Small Designs and stuff. Come on in. I love watching you. I sent your lollipops that you make with the we'll say Green Monster look to my friend. She makes garlands that are really popular in that Green Monster theme. You know, we're not supposed to say the things. So I sent her. She was like, "These are fabulous." I'm like, I know. How are ya? Hi, Lily and Emma. What's up? I remember you from last week. How you doing? How you doing? It's funny because your name is Misty. You think there's somebody... Oh, the Crafty Farmers is my friend Misty. Yes. Yes. And then I also have a friend in the crew, Missy, which is beautifully done. So we got all kinds of Misties and Misties. Yes, that's so awesome. Yeah, that's my girl Misty. So now I'll never forget your name. Misty and Misty. Yes. Tell her, come on. Come and get them. Yes. That's right. I'll tell her. How are you? Now, we were talking in the comments too, and you were saying like you're into Christmas, like you are Christmasing it. Now look at that. So see how, like y'all, and I haven't even used glue. I said I was gonna, but I didn't. But we will. Let's go ahead. We'll give that a little shot of glue there. All right. Whoop. I appreciate you checking me out, and I love going live on the other platform. Because I can play music, but I just don't go as much as I should. But I have my How to Be a Boho BadA. This is something I do every Friday. It's my free Friday feature, and I only do this content here on YouTube. I love boho style, and I make it often, but as far as like teaching it in a free manner, where it's not inside, I do teach inside a paid design school. It's a virtual design school. It's called the Candy's Creative Design School. I started out my journey there with that design school about 3 years ago, and then, well, no, I guess it's 4 years now, 4 years. And then I've been coaching in there this month a year. So it kind of went full circle, right? I started as a student. I was just a hobbyist. I was just making to give away to like fundraisers and things. I had no business. And then here I am now. I have a business. I sell on Etsy and I coach. So that is a paid design school. I coach in there once a week, and I do business and creative coaching. So I do teach also how to sell your wreaths. I also do a lot of in-person workshops in my local area, which now has turned into, I've gotten my own studio, but before it was just workshops. And so I give a lot of tips about how to do that. Marketing is a part of my corporate world. And so I bring some of that to the group. But as far as like free teaching and tutorials, this is where I do my boho content. So it's exclusive here, and I like to show you all kinds of ideas, whether we're incorporating holiday or just home design, or I love weddings, like love them. So look at that. Let's see, we might need to move this up a little bit. It's a little too, let's take some of these pine tines and do this, where they kind of loop these around so they're not drooping so far down. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. I'm going to clip this one off because it's really long, and I'm going to add that on this side. Let me see. Okay, I like that. And then this one, let's go here. So, how about y'all? Tell me a little bit about y'all. Thanks, cool. So, aw, thanks, Judy. Come join. Oh, I appreciate that. I feel like I'm partial, but I definitely agree. It's a great, great community. So much talent in there, and everyone's so willing to help. Like, it's far beyond. I mean, I do think that our coaches are special. I'm not going to lie. And we do everything. Fake bake. We have a fake bake coach. We have an Etsy coach. We have Leanne shows us Canva. You have Creative with Candy, and she does a lot of big over-the-top wreaths, and then floral design with Jen. Oh my gosh, that lady is a magician when it comes to floral design, and she really focuses a lot on table decor, like pieces, centerpieces, also like grave sympathy pieces. She'll tell you she can't make a wreath, but she'll fibber. She can too make a wreath. And then you have me, and you have Iveth Wright. So if you know her, she makes, she paints and designs those mannequin heads. But she does all kinds of other things. Iveth is a gorgeous, gorgeous artist. Oh my gosh. So she coaches in there. So it's a lot. Derica teaches attachments. Derica does signs. All right, so what I'm going in now with is just this Hobby Lobby. It's kind of like that seeded seaweed grass, or it's not the seaweed grass, it's the beaded grass that looks like it. And I'm just taking this and inserting it right to the base. Sometimes if I feel like it's, you know, needs a little bit, I'll wrap a pine tine around it, as you can see, just for a little security. And then I'm just adding that around the perimeter, right? So what we're doing now, so what we've done is we've made it our length. We've given it our shape. And now we're gonna go in and we're really gonna fill in all of this and make all of our shape, so kind of the whole perimeter that we're gonna have, as wide, as long as we're gonna go. Once we establish that, then we go to the interior and we establish the flowers and all of the ribbon work and all of that. So it's like one little thing at a time. I like to do these pieces in about 2 to 3 inches separation between each other, and just work myself around evenly. And then that way you keep a nice even distribution, and it looks balanced. And what I do is, in between those pieces, I have other things. So it's not going to be bare. So we're going to mix in phoenix fern. I have some brown. I have some cream phoenix fern. I have some other things like that. So in between these spaces, that's where we're going to work those in. Levi, he's being naughty. Good to hear. Thank you. Diverse group of designers. Yes, it is. It is. We all get along amazingly well, and we do a retreat twice a year in Savannah. We host 50 people in person. It sells out every year, every time, and that is amazing. We do 5 make and takes, and 3 of those are like big, over the top. I'm talking like the centerpieces that Jen does. I mean, she uses the Mary and Martha big dough bowls. Like these are not little things like this. They're huge. They're huge. I mean, you're 3 pieces. So the design that I make, that Candy makes, and Jem makes, the floral designs, if you sold them and posted them after the event, you would make your registration fee back. And then you also get a fake bake design and a wreath attachment design. The wreath attachment design usually goes with Candy's design, so you'll make the wreath attachment with Erica, and then you follow up and make the wreath or swag or whatever it is with Candy. And then we have an Etsy, on-site Etsy training, and we're talking about adding a surprise this time for a different business class on site. So stay tuned for that. What size base is this? So Reckless, this started out as a 24-inch evergreen swag base. I got it from Craft Outlet. That's where I typically like to get my swag bases from, because I can get the different colors, the different sizes, and they're reasonably priced. They give you a reward. You get free shipping after $69. It's like all the things. They also sell Sweet Annie, which is the only place I can find faux Sweet Annie that looks like Sweet Annie. And so I don't mind ordering from them. I don't buy a lot of the ribbon, and I'm not huge on mesh and things like that, but those are kind of my staples. The swag bases, that Sweet Annie is like one of my favorites. And then I'll usually rack up on like just some staple greenery, like eucalyptus and stuff like that. You know the deal. You need to go get one. Yeah, so Reckless, what I did with the swag base is I just bent it. So I took the top half, you know, the swag base is like this. I just took the top half of it, almost as if I was making an upside down L, and I just gave it a 90-degree bend. And then I fixed all the pine tines, and then that's how I make the swag, or the arch swag base. I've also done it, I made a arch swag that was very heavy. And that I made by taking a 24-inch double ring wreath from Hobby Lobby, and I cut it in half. But I had to have my husband help me, like, bend it and manipulate it. And then I had to use, like, your needle nose wires to bend in the double ring wires. You can't have them, like, jagged and exposed. So definitely ended up being quite, you know, quite the thing. A lot more than what I thought it was going to be. So I definitely, these are so much easier. Just give it a bend and go. Right. So, slay, thanks. I'll hold this up soon. You need to get one. Yes. All right, so we're almost done with this seeded greenery. You can see we've just worked it around, like I said, about every three or so inches. Right now, we're giving it just a nice dose of hot glue. Whoop, sorry about that, got my fan. Just a nice dose of hot glue. I have a, well, I actually am using a electric skillet that you use for omelets as my hot glue gun, or hot glue pot, but you can definitely buy them from Surebonder and get like a legit glue pot. I have one spot here that needs another piece. I'm gonna add that in, and then I'm gonna hold this up so that you can see it. And so you can see how we have started to make this shape. So now you can see where we're working with now. See this? And it's kind of hard to believe that this was that, right? It's just a little evergreen. This is only 3 pieces of greenery. Honestly, if you were into an all greenery look, or even like succulents, you could add in some succulents to hide the little pines that are coming through, or a couple pieces of greenery, and even like a burlap bow or no bow, and you could stop here. I'm not gonna, but you could stop here. All right, so we're gonna keep making that outside with some of this phoenix fern. So this phoenix fern I absolutely love. To me, it's the next best thing to pampas grass if you really like that boho look. And the reason that I say this is great for especially people new to boho style, because it can be intimidating. Oh, I want to save those. Why did I throw those away? I love these. I love using these for picks. Like if you use anything that's styrofoam and you want to make a pick, I like using these over the bamboo skewers because you can bend them. So I save them. But what was I saying? Oh, so I always say this is a great way to get started because pampas grass can be intimidating. It's, you know, it's a natural element, even if you get the faux kind, and it has a mind of its own. it doesn't pay attention to rules, and it certainly isn't going to obey you. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you put it where you're going to put it, and it's going to act like how it's going to act, right? So this, though, is Phoenix Fern, and it's completely wired, and so I can make it bend. And I can do all the things that I want it to do that I can't do to, here's natural pampas here, and I'll show you. Like, natural pampas is what it is. Like, you're not gonna bend it. This is like a woody stem. You're never gonna bend it. And so it's shaped the way it's shaped. It's going in the direction that it's gonna go in. There's nothing you're gonna do except for just let it take its natural, like, place, right? So that Phoenix Fern is definitely a really nice alternative. Gives you the look, but it obeys you. All right, so I'm going to clip this up. Usually I clip them so that I have 2 pieces on each clip. That's kind of how I like to space them out. So we're going to clip this up for a second. You were trying to say you need to get to a retreat. Oh my gosh, Judy, you would so love it. I am going to tell you. Just trust me, you will love it. I would love to see you come to the spring one if you can make it. The spring one is in February. I mean, it's spring themed, but it's technically still kind of sort of winter, right? Levi. Here, let me let him out, or he's gonna keep. Oh, here you go. Are you done playing with your mouse? Do you want to go outside too, or are you going to stay in here with me? You want to stay with Mama? Okay, come on. Over here. Frank he's my boy. This dog is my dog. He's literally my shadow. I can't even stop. He runs into me. But I love him, so. Looking good, thanks. Now, I am making this. This is an order for a customer. She bought a different swag, an arch swag that was shaped in the other direction. So this one we're doing opposite. And she wanted it to coordinate, not be matchy-match, which I just love so much. I'm not a big matchy-match person. I definitely love coordinating. So that's what we're doing. So a lot of the other pieces that she had blues and stuff like that in it, and creams and greens, so we're sticking with that. All right, so there's some of that. Let's go in with this, and then we'll work in that cream. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing, work myself all around. Generally, I start in a corner, and I'll like work myself down, so we'll just keep that the same. Give it a nice dose and glue. Same thing as I did with the other piece, just get that down into the pines, as far down to the base as you can. And before I put it in, I usually, you know, I kind of like mine going in all different directions. I like a little bit of the wild look, no rules. I like edgy. I want it to look a little unruly, I guess. I'm not really sure, but I like it. All right. What am I making? This is going to be a corner swag, so like an arch swag. So Lily and Emma. Sorry, look, I combined your names there. So like this. So let's say this is a mirror or a picture. So you would go like this, and it would adorn the corner of it, right? You ever seen them do that like at Christmas time where they'll just adorn a corner? Or like say you're walking into a room and you know how some of them have like the beams that go, you know, across your room, and you have like the beam that hits the wall. You can do like a little corner swag and the like beam to the wall kind of a, so it's just another way to adorn something like that. Yeah, these are great for weddings and things like that. Like these are basically the same kind of a style that they would put on one of those arches. They do this, and they do the style that I'm going to teach next week, which looks like just like that swag that's like, it's like, looks like a, kind of got the palm in the middle and stuff. That's what we're going to make next week. So a little bit of a different style. Yeah. I like to just show you multiple ways that you can work with the same types of products, so that way if you get the inkling to go out and do this, you don't have to buy 15,000 different things, because that's where the cost comes in. You can go out and buy just a few things, and those few things give you an idea to make 3, 4, 5 different styles of it, right? That way, if you have things left over, then you can work on another design with it, right? So I like to do that. And a lot of times, those of us that are DIYing for our home, generally speaking, that's a great way that we keep our home kind of coordinating, right? Is that we're just working with a few different things, and we're just sprinkling them around, a few different colors, a few different textures and patterns, you know, like in your main living spaces and stuff like that. So it's kind of, think of it like that. So that's why you see me using a lot of the same kind of Phoenix fern. We're working with the same kinds of bases in different ways. We're manipulating them in different ways. We're using the same types of greenery. So we're staying consistent with a lot of our ingredients, because you can change out any one of these ingredients for anything that you love. All right. I'm going to hold this up so that you can kind of see how I've shaped this out. I still have to shape it down here on the bottom, but you can see how we're working that around in between all of those little grassy pieces, right? Still got a few places to finish up. Now, you can make a swag out of a pool noodle. It's as simple as that. So you don't need all this fancy dancy stuff. You can go right to the Dollar Tree, pick up a pool noodle, and you can make yourself any kind of swag or wreath with that. Before I found Candy's Design School, when I first started making things and dabbling, I knew I wanted a swag, but I had no idea that they sold those things. I didn't know that they sold these. All I knew is that I wanted that shape, and I never saw it before, so I had a pool noodle. So I made it. And that was the first ever wreath that I ever made, was on a pool noodle. So it's definitely started an obsession. All right, I'm going to go in here, and then I think this looks really good with this first layer of Phoenix fern. Now I have a couple of pieces left, and what we're going to do with that is, when we get some things made, we're going to give it some life from like the middle of the swag, right? But look at how it shaped that out. And now we're going to go in and do the same thing with just a few pieces of the cream. So now you can see how we made this shape, right? And that's why I was saying I saved these pieces, because look, now you have tan all around the outside, and you just got this green in the middle, right? Well, when we get building this out, we're going to want to put some of these pieces in here, right, to bring the color in, but not right yet. We've got ribbon work and all that stuff to do, and you don't want to cover up your money. This stuff costs money. You don't want to cover up your money. So get all of your big stuff in first, like your ribbon work, and then add in all of your embellishments. All right, so let's add this cream, and what gets to getting. I lost my comments. My phone's getting ready to die too. I wonder if it ever picked up on here, because I can see this so much better. Muy beta. No live. I guess the YouTube just doesn't. Oh well. Oh well, right? Like, there are the comments. Okay, got them back. Gosh, Grace, it took me a second, y'all. I know I've been doing this for a few weeks now. I think we're into our, is this our second month? Is this our 8th session? Might be 7th. But anyway, I'm still kind of pretty new to the YouTubes. So I apologize if I, I can't see your comment. Please know I would never intentionally miss a comment or ignore a comment. And if I see it after, I will definitely answer your question. Or if I miss it in here, you can always feel free to message me. I have all of my contact information on my link tree, which is linked on my YouTube channel. So you're welcome to always reach out, ask any questions you have. Happy to help. All right, so we only have a few clippings of this. It's always good to know what you have. So let's see, 3, 4, 5. husband just texted me. You bring me up some water? You don't know I'm on the YouTubes. It's alright. I've had a busy day. So when I end it here with you all friends, I am hitting the hay myself. Alright, we're going to go in over here. We're going tomorrow. My oldest son, he's 24. It's going to be 25 in February. Holy cow. Gosh. How is that possible? I feel like I just had him. But anyway, he's a MMA fighter. And he's having his pro debut fight tomorrow night. So we're heading up to Baltimore to watch that. So we gotta get some sleep. It's going to be emotional. I generally don't do well with fight days, so. But he weighed in tonight, made weight. He said he feels fantastic, so I'm super excited for him. And it was a big weight cut for him too, so I always worry about that, you know. Your mama heart always worries about that stuff. Alright, we're going to go down here with this white one, and then on this side too, and then it gives us a nice little balanced look with a few pieces that we had left. And then we're going to get into the fun stuff. We're going to make a nice ribbon, or a bow, sorry about that, bow. Alright, so look at that shape. So easy, 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 right? We've just shaped this out. Very, very simple. Now, I want to make sure I remind you before I have all the stuff on the front. So, I usually don't show you all of this part on the back on the live, but all I do is I take this ribbon right here. I get it from Amazon. It's a 4-inch burlap ribbon. It is so economically priced and a really nice ribbon. What I do is I take the back like this. There we go. So it goes like this and then down. Can you see that? Oh, there we go. This and then this. So I literally will take my glue gun and I run a bead of glue on both sides of this ribbon. Like I'll run a bead of glue here and a bead of glue down here and the sides. And I lay one cut here and I cut that, right? And then I take the next one and I do the same exact thing and I just lay it right on the back of it. And then all of the stems that come through, first of all, are now hidden. Nothing's gonna scratch your client's door or your door or wall or mirror or anything like that. So it's gonna now have a finished back, and it's gonna hide any of these mechanics back here. So it's not gonna look unsightly. So that's what I do to cover it. And before I do that, I always make sure that I have enough points to hang. So I usually have a point to hang here, a point to hang on the corner, and then one more point to hang here. So usually what I do is I take the actual pine tines that are off to the side and I'll make a loop with them. And then to mark them for my customer, because it's hard to tell that they're a loop, right? To mark them for my customer, I take a colored pipe cleaner and I go around the loop with the colored pipe cleaner so they can see it. So that's how I do it to help, right? All right. Okay, yay! All right, let's do the bow. So just some tips there on, like, you know, if you're selling your items, covering your mechanics is really, really important. You want, when your customer opens that item, like, they don't understand that you've used all this glue and all these things to put it together. They don't understand all of that. And if they see all of that unsightliness, their impression isn't, that's not going to be a good impression, right? Also, you want to make sure that it can't in any way damage anything that they have. So any of these little steps that you take are always just an extra step. The bow, yes. All right, what did oh, the ribbon's here. All right, so we're going to go in with this 4-inch plaid. And we're going to make just a really nice long drapey bow. So what I'm going to do is, I think I want this first tail to be not quite as long, right? So we're going to pinch, pinch, pinch. We're going to make a hand bow. Hand bows can be Some people pick it up really, really easy. It took me over a year of making a bow. Almost every single time I made something, I'd make it in my hand first. I'd hate it, tear it apart, and make it in the bow maker. But I at least would try it in my hand first. And it took me a year of doing that before I stopped tearing it apart. So don't get frustrated and just keep trying. But so you get your pinch and your pleat is the most important part. Can you see how that puckers up your ribbon right there? All right, so now I make my bow size, right? And I just kind of eyeball it, what I think is going to be a nice bow size. And before I kind of go crazy with the pinch and pleat, I look at the bow, the loop. I'm good with that, so let's pinch it together. Now, you don't have to hold this with a death grip in your hand, okay? You can, now that you have your first loop, you get your pinch and your pleats good, you can hold this just like this between your thumb, right there in your little crook of your hand, right? And you can relax your hand so that you're not cramping up, okay? And then just hold it loose. Now this is the tail, so kind of pull your tail down. And then I don't twist my first bow. My bottom bow has no twists in it. So I go, keep this is the ugly side of the ribbon, this is the pretty side, right? So you keep that, you make a loop, come right back up, right? And just kind of eyeball it. I can already tell that that's much bigger than the other one. So, and then when I think it's right, I pinch it in the middle, just like that, and I pleat it. Now we're only going to do a 2-loop bow, but you could keep going. And if you keep going, this is where the twist comes in. So I'm going to show you, actually we'll do a three-loop bow so you can see. So you don't have to keep even number of loops. So here's where you twist, because if you kept going and pulled this out and then came back in, you'd have the ugly side of the ribbon, right? So you can't do that. So what you do here is you twist it and you flip that ribbon completely upside down, and that twist sits right there in the crook of your hand, okay? So it's right up there. And then you just make the same size loop, come back, right? This ribbon is heavy, and so it's pulling on it, sorry. There we go. Make the same size loop, and then pleat, 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 and then there you go. So now you have 3 loops and 2 tails. See that? And one is shorter. Okay. This is really thick ribbon. You can literally hear me playing with it, right? This is that Raz Designer ribbon. I'm going to keep this tail really long. I did that on her first piece, and she absolutely loved that it had that long tail on it, so we're going to keep it on the second one. All right, so we are going to go in with a second ribbon, a thinner ribbon, and just a solid, and this is like a really dark blue jean. I love it. Okay, so we'll just let this go. And now we're just going to match this up, like this tail will match up to that tail, and it goes right on top. Right, now this is already starting. The way I add in my next bow, or my next ribbon, I have to do a twist before I do my first loop, because this is the nice side of the ribbon. So if I kept going, and I know that this is confusing because this ribbon looks the same on both sides, but if I kept going, it would be the ugly side of the ribbon. So I got to twist it. There we go. Make your first loop, come back to the center. You've got the pinch and pleat there. Twist. Another loop. I can definitely tell that's a lot bigger. Okay. And there's your pleat and pinch there, and then twist. And this is our last little loop. There we go. And then pinch and pleat. And then there you go. So this is what you have. All right. And then we're going to use, you can use a zip tie, you can use a pipe cleaner. I really love floral wire. I'm a little bit obsessed with floral wire. So I like, this comes from Walmart, it hangs in a bag on a wall, it's already pre-cut. This is the 18 gauge. I also get the 20 gauge, but I prefer the 18 gauge. Just wrap it around that center of your bow. Do not lose your stack. So that is one of the keys to your bow having that nice look, is that it stays stacked. All of your layers stay stacked right on top of each other. You're all, hey, Lori, what's up, girl? You have to go to bed. Good night. What's up, girl? What you been doing? This ribbon is so thick. I had to pinch it to, there we go. There we go. All right, so now we have the bow. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna put this bow right in the corner. I'm already manipulating it because I can see where I want stuff. There's no patience. And now I'm going to take this floral wire, I'm going to go through the swag, and remember that spine I was talking about? That's what we're looking for. Whew, it's hot. All right, so we're going to go through all these layers of greenery to the back. Back here. There we go. And you don't want to wrap it around the side because you will inevitably get stems of things and then you'll yank your stems, tuck them in. And you don't want to do that. So just go through it, through the greenery, to the back of the swag here. And then see, this is the wire base. That's what I'm taking this around. So I just wrap that around there. And now that I'm on this side, I'm just going to tie it back. So I'm going to get it like kind of taut in there. And then I just wrap it around. And I wrap it, wrap it, wrap it. I don't want anything coming undone. All right, and then now I'm manipulating my loops. Here's my tail. And I've got this little tail over here. Right? There we go. And I'm going to pull this loop out here to the side a little bit. This is really thick ribbon, so it is wanting me to manhandle it, and it's alright because I'm here for it. It's going to do what I say. It's going to do what I say. Alright, and now I just take those 3 loops in the middle, the little loops, right? And I like my loops to have pucker. So I like them, I don't like them to be flat, but you can do them however you want. So you're always going to see me add some pucker to the loops. And now let's just do our tails. So this one's going to stay long. We are going to dovetail. I'm going to keep these on an angle. I like to have thinner ribbon cut on a diagonal. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this long piece here. So I'm going to show you how long it is. This is what we have, right? It's pretty, but see how long this is? But what I want to show you is I love this ripple effect I do. So it has really good ribbon. This is really good, a really good wire. And so I take my fingers and I add these little pleats and ripples the whole way down. And then I'll do just 1 or 2 on. And I just love that little look it gives. And then we'll just kind of, so this is wired ribbon. And if you take your hand down wired ribbon just like this and cup it, it almost curls it, right? Your hand curls it. So there you go. So this is what we've got. Isn't that cute? All right, so let's add some more things, just a few. We don't have much, you know? So I have this one like dark magnolia. I only have one, so I thought I was gonna go in kind of close to the bow with that, right? Like right up here. And then I have these blue hydrangeas I've used in other pieces. So remember, she wanted it kind of coordinating with other things that she has. So I'm not using these. Then she bought a candlestick that has these blue peonies in it. So I'm going to incorporate them. So it doesn't necessarily match the swag, but it matches other pieces that she has. And then this same bush that I got the hydrangea from, I'm going to get the blue protea from. So I'm going to get a couple more hydrangea pieces and then this blue protea. I love these roses too, but I'm not using them in this piece. These blue roses give me wedding vibes. I absolutely love them. All right, so protea. Oh, and these little berries, love these. All right, and this is going to come together so stinking easy from here. All right. Okay. All right. Once we get that worked in, we're going to add a little bit of thistle. I have thistle in almost everything I've made for her, but in all different kinds of colors and sizes. And so we're going to work in some more thistle. I love thistle. It's one of my favorite elements. Your mom would ripple a bit. Oh, would she? I love that. Where did I learn to do that? What, ripple in the bow? I don't know. I just started doing it. I don't know. I've been doing it for like more than a year because that nutcracker swag that I showed tonight, I made last year and it's got ripples in it. So, because I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, how long have I been doing it? I don't know. And I don't know where I got it from. I'm going to be honest. I think I like how it looks on patterns. Your mom made those too, Lori? That's awesome. Did your mom, like, was she a crafter or was she more like she made clothes and stuff? Isn't that funny? But like, never falls far, right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start adding in these flowers. I'm gonna start with this one up at the top. Yes, aww. Well, that's where you got all your talent from. Love that. I come from a crafty family too, pretty artsy crafty family. My grandmother she made all kinds of clothes and was the most beautiful quilter. Oh my gosh, she could make the most gorgeous quilts. And then my mom is really artsy and crafty, and her sisters are as well, all kinds. Like there's one that makes dolls and one that is a fantastic painter. I can't paint. So, all right. Well, I love that. So we just got two big oh, look at them with the yellow centers. Holy moly. Gosh, I love them. I love that. I think I'm going to go with that. And then I wanted this. Remember I said I wanted that blue magnolia. I want it kind of up by the bow. Like this. So, or do I want it on the outside of the bow? Oh, I think maybe I want it on the outside of the bow. I just wanted to add this like smoky blue in here. Just thought it was so pretty. Okay, yep, I like it like there. And then let's put this one farther down. So we're going to keep the stem long. We're going to feed it up through the pine, just like we would, but we're going to keep that stem long, and it's going to give the illusion that the swag is a lot longer than it is. So see how we're keeping the stem long, right? Nice healthy dose of glue. I've got a straight shot right here, right into the pine, right to the spine. Give it a nice little, make sure it's kind of worked all around, some of the greenery there. And then I give it a bend up. So, it's showing up that way. It's a little bit loose though. So I'm going to find a pine branch down here. There we go. Never even know it. Use those pine branches, friends. They have wires in them, and they are the best thing to secure things that you just feel like just need a little extra something in there. All right, some of these hydrangea pops. I love these. They're so pretty, right? So let's just work these around in a few spots. Nothing crazy. One right there. There we go. And then let's do this smaller one over here. So another nice dose of blue. All right. And then this Protea, we're gonna work right in there. So you can see we're just mixing some of these things around. And I love that. That Protea is like, and these, I love these little berry things too. So let's keep these. I'm gonna put a Protea like coming out of here so you can see it kind of off the top. I love that. I'm gonna take this leaf off though. Not loving that leaf. I am a leaf snob, but if you love it, you keep it. That's the rule. If you love it, you keep it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go a little bit off to the side here. I'm gonna add a little bit of separation, actually, right between these two blue flowers. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to add this one right in here, right in that corner. All right, and then let's see. I have these little small blue roses. Let's work in a couple of these first. So this thistle, I like it just kind of like peeking out on the edges of things because it's edgy and it's different and you're kind of like, what's that? What's that? Right? We're also going to put something inside this bow. So we're just working around some of the ingredients. So we're going to put this Protea up here too. I love those things. Those things are just amazing. All right. Let's think about the bow. So I'll stop messing with it. So let's see. I want it so the short piece is over here, long piece is down here. Okay. All right, so what we are gonna do is we're gonna make it look like something is coming out of the bow, but it's actually not. And I don't know if I wanna do that piece or I think I'm gonna do this piece. I'm gonna take the leaves off. Okay. And now we're gonna keep the stem long. Now it's gonna look like it's coming out of the bow, but it's not. We're actually going to position this to go almost underneath of where the bow is attached, and then it bends up over it, and so it looks like it's coming out of it, okay? So we're not actually gluing anything into our actual bow. Very, very, very seldom do I glue things into my actual bow. And then we need another piece to go on this side. So we've got the blue there. Let's do a piece of this. No, I don't love that. Let's do a smaller piece of this kind of like fluffy greenery that I love. So like a little piece of this. We're going to make this look like it's coming up from out of the bow too. So then you have like greenery with the flowers. like that. And I'm gonna put another little piece of greenery on the other side. And it's gonna look like it's like right in the bow, but it's not. All right, another little clip for the other side. And there we go. So just like that. That's what we have. Right? So it's coming together really nicely. And then you got the little curl on the ribbon. We're not going to be fitting too much more in here. So let's see. I do want to add in, got a little more thistle. Okay. And I definitely want some more phoenix fern. All right, so let's add in some thistle here in the middle. So remember, this middle here doesn't have a ton going on in the center. If you remember, we've really focused a lot of things. The edges. Huh, there we go. Words are hard. All right. All right. All right, and a couple of these blue flowers, and y'all, I think we're good. All right, and we're just gonna add a couple of them, just in some spots to add some color, but small color, not big flowers. All right, so it's kind of like your filler, right? Just your little accents. I'm gonna go down here too. It's coming out from the bottom. And if you get a lot of glue strings, and does happen, and it's not, I mean, it doesn't matter the brand of glue you use. I use Gorilla Glue. I consider it one of the best. You know that, Sure Bond or glue, it's all really good glue, and it all does it. So, but you can use a hair dryer or a heat gun on a low setting, and any of your little glue strings, it'll melt and make them disappear. Okay. Alright, so this is where I said I save these to kind of go in the middle. Because you want those things to kind of look like they're growing all through your piece. Like, oh, that's been growing there for years. It's supposed to be there. Alright, I got that piece there. We're going to go up underneath the bow with another one. Alright. And then just kind of work it around. And sometimes I will move things that look like it's coming out from underneath of other flowers. It's just, that's the part of wanting it to look, you know, natural, right? All right, a couple more of these blue flowers, and y'all, I think it's a Dunsky deal. I'm gonna go right here. You can see this space, like a little bit void of dark, and then up here. And these are just like the cutest flowers. I got these from General Wholesale, I think. All right, I'm gonna go right up in here. And if you're just joining and you missed how I talked about, and it was probably a little more towards the middle, about how I camouflage the back of this with burlap ribbon, just make sure you go back and check the replay when it posts. All right. And I think, friends, this is good. I see a little spot over here. All right, I'm happy with it. All right, let me show you what we got here. So this is, like I said, a little bit of a mashup between boho and farmhouse, right? I love when two of these themes meet and have great harmony together, right? Because, you know, some people like just several different styles. So just fixing my bow. I'll do that 100 times. But this is what we have. So here is your corner swag in a farmhouse rustic boho style. So again, it would be like as if this was a corner. There we go. And it would go up like that in the corner. So there you go. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that it gives you some great ideas and inspiration of something that you can make, or some space in your house that you've been wanting to adorn and you just didn't know what to do, or you're planning an event and you had some spaces that you want to add pops of color with your theme and style. I hope that this gave you some ideas. So is this in order? Yes. Yeah, this was in order. Yep, it's done. You recognize the peonies? Yes! Mel's like, yes. Mel, these are yours. So she got that candlestick in the slate blue with the chocolate. And so I made sure I mixed in some of the peonies for that. Yes, I got those for Surrey Circle Home Friends. So where did I learn how to, oh, you were asking me about the ribbon. Okay. All right. All right, friends, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get my space cleaned up, and tomorrow is a new day. I'm in an event pretty early, and then, like I said, I've got to get ready. We're going to be heading out of town. So I really appreciate you joining me tonight, and I hope that you're really enjoying this How to Be a BOHO BadA series, and we'll be back next week, and we're going to do another style of a swag, but it's going to be more one that you can see on like an arch, but it has like that style where you have kind of like the dried palm in the center and the pampas coming all out of it. So that'll be a style that we'll do next week. So it's not a door swag. It's more like you can use them over a window, on, like I said, a wedding arch, columns, staircases, pillars, anything like that. So it's a little bit different. All right, so we'll do that next week. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much on this Friday night for joining me. And I'm going to catch you soon. So, bye. And I hope you subscribe. See y'all.